I'll be honest with you, I did write that joke before the election when this was all still funny to me. I mean, that joke is still funny, but everything else is a waking nightmare. It's a weird time to be a comedian or an alive person. But as a comedian, I definitely feel this pressure to have something coherent to say to you about what's happening. And I don't got it. I'm sorry, guys. I've been touring a lot. I've been performing in a lot of other better countries this year. And, that's awkward. People are not coming to those shows for jokes. They're there for an explanation. And barring that, an apology. I did some shows in Australia right after inauguration, and I did an interview with a newspaper there to try and get people to come see me perform. It didn't work. And the only question that the interviewer asked me was, what's it like to make jokes about President Trump? And that was the first time I'd heard those words together, so my response was, I started crying. On the phone with an Australian stranger. It's not funny to me yet. It's still not funny. And I understand why people make jokes about bad situations. I totally get that impulse. I used to live in New York before I moved to LA. I used to ride the subway all the time. Very often when you're riding the subway in New York, it'll stop underground in between stations for no reason. You have no idea how long you're going to be there. People get stressed out, tense, claustrophobic. So I always used to like to break the tension with a little joke, right? I'd be like, I know it's not the express train, but this is ridiculous, right, guys? And they'd be like, oh my God, that's so funny. Are you a comedian? And I would be like, yes, a very famous one. And then the train would start up again. We'd all get uptown like we knew we were going to, so I get it. I get making jokes about a bad situation. This doesn't feel exactly like that, right? This doesn't feel like we're all just stopped underground, but we are going to get to that station eventually. This feels more like we all got on a train, right? That we thought was going uptown. And instead of stopping, it very suddenly started going 800 miles an hour. Right? We're not even in Manhattan anymore. We are off-roading it. We are plowing through a SeaWorld in New Jersey. Kids are diving out of the way. We've impaled an orca whale that was about to be released into the wild after 17 years in captivity because we all saw a black fish and we're making some changes. But not soon enough, because she is dead now, and we are just dragging this whale carcass behind this runaway subway car. I know. And me and all my friends on the train are horrified, and we're looking around at the other passengers like, can you guys believe this shit? And they have their backs to us, but then their heads spin around like they're in The Exorcist. And they're like, oh, we actually like the new train conductor. He says what he thinks. And I'm like, okay, but he's not a train conductor. He's a human toilet, right? He's a toilet that a witch put a spell on, and now it can talk. I'd rather have like an engineer in charge or something. And they're like, no, it's better with a human toilet. It's about time this train ran more like a haunted bathroom. And I'm like, what's going on? Where are we? And they're like, oh, you're in real America now, bitch. I hope you like staying pregnant. And then before I can say anything to that, there's a horrible screeching noise because the runaway subway car that we're all on has found its way onto the tracks of the roller coaster at SeaWorld. And it has ground to a halt, upside down, at the top of the loop-de-loop. And that's where we are right now, right? We're not stopped underground in Midtown headed to the Upper West Side. We are dangling from a fucking roller coaster in Hoboken. And we don't know if we're gonna snap off and drop to our deaths or finish the loop and slam into a children's hospital. We don't know. It doesn't end good either way. And no one can see what's about to happen because the outside of the train car is still coated in orca blood. So everyone is real quiet because they're listening to see if they can hear what's about to happen. And it just doesn't feel appropriate for me to break that silence to be like, They call it SeaWorld, but I can't see anything. Can you guys? So I don't have any more politics jokes, is what I'm saying. I hope that's cool. That might be a relief to you if you're a Trump supporter and you found your way in here. If that's the case, all that I ask is that at no point do you make that known to me in any way. Just keep that to yourself. But hey, you know what? Congratulations on bucking the stereotype and showing up to hear a woman talk for an hour. I would be genuinely impressed by that. You're a lot more nuanced than I am.